Hey guys, I'm just playing games on my phone, playing games to improve my memory. It's great. It'd be great if it worked. It doesn't work, and I'm going to prove it. So, brain training. A lot of companies out there these days will tell you that if you'll just play video games on your cell phone or on your computer, these games will help you improve your memory, help you improve your overall intellect or your ability to focus. And that would be great if it was true, but scientific studies and research is telling us over and over again, this is not true. They're fun, but you're just getting better at the game with no memory improvement. There's a lot of companies out there today, Cogmed, Fitbrains, and Lumosity, and they have these games that if you play the games with the promise that you'll improve your memory and your ability to focus. This all started when Toril Klingberg did a series of studies where he gave students tests, and he increased the difficulty in increasing the test by giving them more information to remember. At the conclusion of his several-week test, he determined that students were able to improve their memory by playing these games, and thus he founded the company Cogmed, which teaches you how to do that. Since then, more research has been done, and a pair of scientists gathered all the best information, 23 investigations of memory training by teams around the world, and they employed a standard statistical technique called meta-analysis to settle this controversial issue. Their conclusion? The games may yield improvements in the narrow tasks being trained, but this does not transfer to broader skills like ability to read or do arithmetic or to other measures of intelligence. In other words, playing games may make you better at that specific games, but you're not going to get better at anything that's important to you in life. In the meantime, a paper written by Georgia Tech scientists looking specifically at Cogmed, they found, and they wrote, the claims made by Cogmed are largely unsubstantiated. Recently, a coalition of over 70 researchers spoke out against companies like Lumosity, and they posted a research paper at the Stanford Longevity Center, and they lambasted Lumosity and these companies for making claims that were simply not provable. As the Stanford letter made clear, there is no scientific consensus that programs like Lumosity work. In fact, there's been a wide variety of people noting again and again that they don't. In 2009, a consumer group in the UK asked a panel of scientists to look into brain training games, including Lumosity. These scientists explicitly debunked Lumosity's claims, and they are not alone. Over and over again, scientists and researchers are telling us that these aren't true, and instinctively you know it. If your 11-year-old was to study for a history test, would you tell them to go play their Sega Genesis for 4 hours and play their Batman game to improve their memory? Or would you tell them to go study their history? Instinctively, you know your 11 or 12-year-old is not getting better at improving their memory by playing video games. Yet we as adults want to believe that if we play these simple games over and over, we're going to improve our memory because it's fun, it's easy and quick. And that's the society we live in. But the truth is, and research has proven over and over again, that while these games may be fun, they are not having any lasting effects. You're simply getting better at that game. A few months ago, I was getting all worked up about this, and I was talking to a friend telling him how I believe these games don't work. And he stopped me and he said, Ron, don't you understand? In marketing, the illusion of improvement is just as good as improvement. And he was right. It is the illusion of improvement. And unfortunately, in their ability to make money, it's just as good as improvement. So what's the harm? Can playing these video games really hurt you? No, it's not going to hurt you, but here's the harm. If you spend 10 hours a week on these brain training games in hoping of improving your brain or your memory or your intellect, and it doesn't do any good, that's 10 hours that week that you could have spent on something else. And the second harm to this is that there are children out there with learning disabilities, or there are people with brain injuries, or older people who are losing their ability to think and focus. And they believe that working these games is going to improve those areas, and then they don't. And then they begin to think, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Can I not improve my memory and my brain? And that is the real harm behind the promises being made by these brain training companies. So who am I to be talking about this? My name's Ron White. I'm a two-time USA memory champion. I used to hold the record for the fastest to memorize a deck of cards in the United States, and I also held the record by memorizing a 167-digit number in 5 minutes. It was the longest number ever memorized in 5 minutes in the United States. I have some games that I use and that I train myself with, and I think they might be of benefit to you. But more importantly, on that website, we have lots of tips and techniques on memory improvement drills and ways to really get some improved function out of your memory. And you can get that by clicking right here or go to memorize.org. Click right here. It's also down in the text description below. And I hope you do pursue brain training. It is a worthwhile goal, and if you do it right, it does work. Okay, guys, we got tons more of videos coming out on how to memorize and improve your memory brain training. Click the link right here. Subscribe. Click it right here. Here it is. Click it. Click the link.